See the first episode of Ironside, and it was very compelling. And I actually have a question about your character. What do you find? Do you find that he has also his own sort of disability to deal with in a certain way?
Yeah, there's a line in there Ironside says about, him being a physical cripple and Gary being an emotional cripple. And yeah, it's definitely something that's hard for him to handle and to deal with. Certainly a survivor guilt, his partner being shot and him not, and that sort of thing. And I think it's also an accumulation. 13 years these guys were partners, and as you'll see throughout the series in different episodes, sometimes we flash back 8 years, sometimes 3, sometimes 13, and each time you get to see how they relate in their relationship, the first time they met or the first time they worked together, or a time when they were going for their gold shield, and they were cowboys, kicking up New York, and so I think it's that's certainly compelling to me as far as the rest of the season.
So it's interesting because you and Blair actually have a similarity in the sense you're playing two different characters. The same character that have gone through different things. So how is that going between the present and the past?
I think it's terrific. Each episode, each something that happens in the flashback in the past only informs my character in the present day for greater detail. And that to me alone is it's research. It's wonderful. They're giving me the character, a little bit more each time. That's for the subtleties and learning things, and especially if you want to set something up that's going to pay off a few episodes down the line, that stuff's invaluable for that.
It must be really interesting for you as an actor also to switch between those two modes.
Sure, yeah. It's it's not a far switch, it's still the same root guy, but it's, the way they behaved in the past and the way they behave in the future, or the present day. They maybe think about things a little bit more than reacting brashly or, out of emotion. It's how does the chair make him a better cop? To me, that's the show.
And is there a moment during the upcoming episodes that sticks with you, whether it was a flashback or flash forward, in the scene with Blair as Ironside?
They're all really good. It's hard to pick just one. There was one thing we shot last week. It was a scene the first time he and I worked together undercover. I had already been on the force for a year undercover, and he was coming in, the new guy, and say, I know what to do, and he kind of gets his ass kicked, and it was kind of a funny scene, and when we shot it, we had a lot of fun doing it.
Well, my final question for you is, what message do you have for the viewers as they get ready to watch the first episode of Ironside?
Enjoy it. It's fun. Stick with it. It's a great short story every week.